Welcome to the Active CPA channel, where we share with you the latest, greatest tax tips and also some business advice for a business owner. My name is Charlene, I'm the partner of the firm. Today I want to talk to you about a very common concern that business owner has. If you run a business, it is inevitable for you to receive a letter from the IRS. So what happened when people look at the IRS logo, they panic. So the first thing I want to talk about is if you ever receive an IRS letter, please do not panic, because receiving an IRS letter really does not mean that you commit a crime. You know, many reasons why you will receive an IRS letter. For example, you might receive an IRS letter because you make overpayment and they tell you they're sending you a refund. Or they may ask you some questions about the tax return that you have filed. Now, in those situations, we call it an audit, right? It could be a paper audit or it could be a field audit, but regardless, when you receive a letter informing you that you will be audited, the first step is to read it thoroughly and understand the letter. Sometimes you'll be able to determine reasons why you have been selected and what documents you need to prepare and provide for the audit. Most of the time, the IRS officer will need paper documents, but in some cases, the IRS will accept electronic records. So what trigger an IRS audit? I'll give you some example. If you're a sole proprietor and you file a Schedule C and you don't have income for several years and you keep on deducting expenses, at some point it is common that IRS will question the legitimacy of your business because they wonder, do you really run a real business or is it a hobby business? Because every business should have the intent to be profitable. Now I'm going to talk to you about what kind of audit will happen and how many types of audits there are. There are actually two kinds. You know, one is a paper audit, we call it, and then the other one is a field audit. So a paper audit is a mail audit. What it means is that you have to ship all your documents in a mail to the IRS, and then if you need more time to prepare for the audit, you have to contact and write to the designated IRS officer. So what you need to do is write a letter and fax it to the designated fax number in your letter with a request for extension for more time to prepare for the audit. Now, a field audit, you will meet with an IRS officer in person for interviews. These interviews will be done at either an IRS office or your business premise. Sometimes it's your home, your place of business, or it could be your CPA office. Now, most of the time, taxpayers and auditees prefer to hire a tax accountant to be present during the interview. Now, if you ask me, I would not shy away from this interview because from my experience, when an IRS officer steps into your workplace or your office, your place of work, your premise to conduct an interview, the intent is, of course, to get to know you, but to also get to know your business and to understand what type of operation do you run, and from there it gives them a good feel of whether, you know, do you really run a busy operation, a good business, or you know, so that does really carry some weight, you know, in the process of audit. I don't think an IRS officer would necessarily ask you very technical questions because they know that anything very technical should be something that your accountant handles for you. Now, during the audit, it is important that you stay cool, calm, collected. Be respectful and honest. You don't have to cheat, as if you don't cooperate with the officer, sometimes it makes it even worse. Now, however, discuss only what is requested of you pertaining to the audit. It is important that you don't volunteer unnecessary information because that may cause unwanted, unnecessary attention. When the investigation or the audit is complete, the IRS will inform you of the outcome and determination of the audit conducted. Now, the desired outcome is, of course, there is no tax balance owed, or sometimes you could even get a refund out of the audit. However, oftentimes in the process, there will be some additional tax balance assessed. Now, when you get into that situation, the first thing you need to do is you need to contact your tax attorney or your accountant, and they need to take a look at the determination letter to see whether it's fair or there's additional questions or you completely disagree with it. So you need to actually speak to either a tax advocate or you need to take it to a next level to go into a tax appeal. So it is important that you understand all these steps and procedures before you become too anxious, worried, or panic. So another alternative is for you to consider reaching out to the taxpayer advocate. Taxpayer advocate is an independent division of the IRS that provide assistance to taxpayers to protect their rights and to make sure taxpayers are treated fairly. Now, during all this, you should keep in close contact with your tax professionals because they will be able to guide you through this very stressful situation. Most of the time, your CPA is also the party who keeps most of the supporting documents, so if gathering all these documents is gonna take you a long time, it is always easier or better to engage a professional. Are you dealing with any IRS issue, or have you recently received a letter that you don't understand? We here at XU CPA, we believe in going above and beyond for our clients. In fact, for every tax return that we file and prepare and submit to the IRS, we stand behind all our numbers and we want to make sure that you're well protected, that accurate tax return is submitted to the IRS. And of course, if you're watching this video, at some point you feel like you may have additional questions about deductions or anything pertaining to the IRS audit, you can comment below or you can reach out. Our number is 832-295-3353 and I would love to talk to you. As usual, if you like to support us, I encourage you to please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. My team will really greatly appreciate it because we put in so much effort into developing all this series so that you would learn something from us, hopefully, and we will be able to talk to you and get to know you better. Until then, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.